Hey guys, Sofia Vergara gave an interview to Spanish newspaper El País, where she said all the truth about her relationship with Joe Manganiello and why it was such a sudden breakup between them. She actually said that the problem was that she didn't want to have kids with Joe, and because he was younger than her, and she felt like she doesn't need that in her life anymore. She has a grown kid and she's okay with that. Let's see what really happened and let's see a version of Sofia Vergara. And it happens just at the time when Joe Manganiello was spotted with his new 33-year-old girlfriend getting out of Gold's Gym in LA.
My marriage broke up because my husband was younger. He wanted to have kids, and I didn't want to be an old mom. I feel it's not fair to the baby. I respect whoever does it, but that's not for me anymore.
I don't quite understand, when you actually having a relationship, dating with somebody, you're talking about this stuff. You're talking about having kids or wanting to have kids or don't want to have kids. So for her to actually give this excuse that I haven't decided that and I don't want to have kids, and Joe wanted to have kids because he doesn't have any at the moment. So before marriage, usually couples talk about that, especially if they're a certain age. Of course, if you're like 20, 25, you can change your mind, but if you're like 50, your mind may not be changed. That's why I'm kind of shocked. Maybe Joe was such a hopeless romantic and he was so into Sofia Vergara that he hoped he's gonna change her mind with his love. I don't know, but it seems unreal to me. And now she's saying, oh, that was a reason. I don't necessarily believe there was a whole truth.
And the actress, who is a parent to one adult son, Manolo, with ex-husband Joe Gonzalez, notes she's ready for a different chapter in life. She continues, I had a son at 19, who is now 32, and I'm ready to be a grandmother, not a mother.
I understand if you have a kid who's grown and you don't want to get through all this process again. But still it's a question why they didn't talk about that before the marriage. Why it wasn't a question if it was so important for Joe, and if it's Sofia, it's a no answer. Even though I'm all about having kids, especially if you're in a relationship, I can understand, it's hard for me from my standpoint to understand a woman, but I can understand why she at her age doesn't want to do that anymore. She doesn't want to be a mom, 70-year-old mom of a 20-year-old boy. Probably it's not for her, and some people are different. Some people make their own choices in life, and Sofia made her own.
So if love comes along, he has to come with his own children. I'm almost in menopause. It's the natural way of things.
I agree with that phrase, that he needs to come with children if love comes along. Why you married Joe Manganiello without children? That's the question. I'm shocked the journalist of El País didn't ask her that. It's immediate question that comes to my mind. Why would you marry a guy in the first place if you didn't want to have children? And he wanted to. I heard this version before, even before she officially confirmed that, from different sources that the burden of their relationship was that he wanted to have kids and she didn't want to. But again, I asked this question before, and I'm going to ask it again. Why didn't they talk about it before? Why they started talking about that in the middle of their relationship? It was only one way after that, is divorce.
When my son becomes a dad, let him bring the baby to me for a while, and then I'll give it back to him and go on with my life. That's what I have to do.
Honestly, Sofia Vergara doesn't look like she's a grandma or a future grandma. She looks like 40-year-old, 42-year-old, not like a grandma. 42-year-old, you can be a grandma. Don't get me wrong, I think at 35 you can be a grandma or granddad. But she doesn't look like she looks very stylish and more like she has a lot of energy, a life in her. And usually when you see a grandma, it's already a woman or a guy. If you see a grandpa, they're on the decline, they're having a pension or something like that. I don't know why, but I have this type of associations with me.
Sofia and Joe, who first met in 2014 and tied the knot in November of 2015, announced their divorce in July of 2023 and released a joint statement saying, "We have made the difficult decision to divorce. As two people that love and care for one another very much, we politely ask for respect of our privacy at this time."
So she was 43-year-old when they got married. It's still a okay age to have a kid, especially nowadays with the medicine and how doctors can do everything they can to have for you to have like a healthy baby. That's why, again, it's weird what happened.
And the world took notice when that happened.
Yeah.
Did you expect that?
Yeah, of course. You're you're out there and people know. That's part of being a celebrity. I knew it was going to happen. You can't hide those things.
How did you overcome that?
It wasn't bad. I think, I have to say the press was very respectful and very nice. And I thought that they were going to invent more things, how they usually is. And I was surprised. And no, they kind of just said what it was. And
yeah, so Sofia Vergara wasn't surprised by that people gonna talk about her divorce, but she was surprised by a nice reaction from people and from press, especially from press, I assume. But it was not really much to talk about Sofia and Joe. They're not Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, so press didn't have time to create all the theories and stuff because they concentrated on Taylor and Travis. I think more right now at the moment, and maybe on Selena and Benny Blanco. It's the second favorite couple for the press right now. So Sofia, stay in line for that. But I assume she was happy that they didn't talk about her. And let's talk about it. Let's discuss this topic. If you have anything to say, as always, share your thoughts in the comment section. So like, share, subscribe, and see you in the next one. Bye.